What up, what up? This is Lupe Fiasco, and you're checking out Groundbreaking Video Productions. You heard? Laser stands for Love Always Shines Every Time, Remember to Smile. And it's really about just, you know, raising awareness, shining the light in the face of the darkness, you know what I'm saying? Getting people to kind of activate and stand up, you know, for what's right in the world. It was more demanded by the fans than we thought it was actually going to be, you know. But it's more of a popular record than any of my other albums. It's a little bit more controversial, you know, than my other albums. And it's a little bit more accessible, you know what I'm saying, than my other albums. You don't have to be a hardcore Lupe Fiasco fan to get it and rock with it and like it, you know. So it's a good thing. The hold up on Lasers was basically just kind of not necessarily a misunderstanding, but more so just kind of like that classic battle between artists and label. You know what I'm saying? Doing the songs and making the music and making the moves that I want to make, and them wanting me to do the music and make the moves that they wanted me to make. And, you know, shout out to Julie Greenwald, who's president of Atlantic Records, who kind of came in and was able to kind of articulate what the label wanted, you know, respectfully for me to get it. And at the same time, too, she talked back to the label to articulate respectfully what I wanted, you know. So it's kind of like that cooperative spirit, but everything's good right now. When the fans petitioned for me and then went on to do a protest, you know, it made me feel good. You know, it made me feel like I had a backing out there, which I actually do in a hardcore fan base, but I never expected them to come out like that. The world didn't expect them to come out like that. So, you know, it made me feel good. Me and Pharrell and Kanye got a group called Child Rebel Soldiers, you know, and it's kind of more like a side project, you know, just to do for not really like a real serious thing that we putting everything into, but, you know, it exists. We do records. You know, we might put out an album soon. We'll see. All City Chess Club is like a super group, but not like a group, and like you would think of like Wu-Tang. It's more like just kind of like a union almost, like just kind of showing, you know, solidarity between all the newer vanguard of rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like the new groups like Asher Roth, B.O.B. is in it, J. Cole's in it, Wale is in it, Mickey Fax is in it, Diggy's in it, Cool Kids is in it, Dosage in it, Sky Zoo is in it, Blue is in it, and it's more. It's really and it's gonna be more than that. You know, the way it's looking. So, you know, All City Chess Club is kind of like, you know, it's hard to get 14 dudes on one song. So it's more about just kind of like making sure we all just staying in contact with each other and aware of whatever got going on. So All City Chess Club was an idea between myself, 3H, shot 3H. Charles Hamilton and the Cool Kids. We was all all just happened to be in LA, and just was like, yo, while we here, let's do a song. And then it just went to, yo, let's put Ash on it, you know, let's put Blue on it, let's put, you know, just kind of blew into its own little thing. I had nothing on you, you know, and it's just Bob made it a better record, you know, so it was like, give it to Bob, you know, let him go do it, and he achieved a lot of success off that. So I don't look at B.O.B. as being similar to me, other than we look alike, because B.O.B. actually know how to play music. You know, he plays the guitar, he sings. I think he's less of a rapper and more of a musician, you know what I'm saying, than anything else. But nah, that's my man, so I rock with B.O.B. tough. There's a ton of like Mos Def, Talib Kweli, like we all come from that same vein, Outkast and different people. You could definitely see it in B.O.B. We come from kind of the same soil, you know what I'm saying, share some of the same influences. So that kind of carries over into us and what we do, you know, and we are like like you said, we are like in that way because we come from some of the same places, you know. Well, for me, I always try and keep my music positive, you know, always look at what everybody else isn't doing. You know what I'm saying? And do that. I look at my music as just kind of being the balance. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's just a lot of negativity in the commercial space. You know, so for me, I just feel it's my obligation artistically, but at the same time too, almost like a business decision. You know what I'm saying? To kind of take care of and handle the people, the customers that they missing. You know what I'm saying? Because the majority of people don't really want to hear the negativity. you know, every day like that. You know, they want other type of music that they can vibe with and sit down with. And as you can see, a lot of the negative music don't really sell like that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like going platinum in a week kind of situation. They got to work just as hard as the conscious and the positive rappers at the same time. So for me, it's just kind of like a choice. I feel better about knowing that I put out positive music at the end of the day when I look back at my career, as opposed to putting out negative music. You know. I'm Muslim. I was born Muslim. Islam is always a misunderstood thing. Any religion is misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? Religion is about faith, and it's kind of hard to explain faith to people because faith isn't something that you can measure or something that you can kind of two plus two equals four kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? It's like a 2 plus 2 equals 5 kind of thing. So with any faith, it's always, you know, misunderstandings and misconceptions about it. Islam, I just think is because it's been put in the public eye so in such a crazy way via movies and just the way the press, there's like such an ignorance about it, you know, that anytime anything happens, it's kind of like scared. You know, everybody kind of like jumping to conclusions about it. But at the same time, too, a large part of the public, you know, understands it. You know, and there's a lot of kind of interfaith work that goes on in different communities around the country that I'm aware of and a part of. That kind of the main purpose is to kind of educate people on Islam, but at the same time too educate Muslims about other faiths. You know, because it's a you know it's a two-way thing. Well, I had the opportunity last year, excuse me, to actually get introduced to Howard Zinn. Howard Zinn is a professor. He passed away, but he's a professor who actually wrote a book called The People's History of the United States of America. And the People's History of the United States of America was kind of like the history of America written by the people, not by the generals, not by the politicians, not by the rich people. It was written by the poor people, and it was the experiences of like the slaves and experiences of the abolitionists and the union workers and just kind of the everyday activists in person. And I actually got a chance to they actually did a documentary about it. It had like people such as myself and celebrities, Danny Glover, and a ton of other people, musicians, John Legend, artists and musicians and actors come out and actually read pieces from the book. And it was called The People Speak. And I got a chance to meet Howard and you know, got really involved with the project and the book. And it's a good thing. You know, I think it's something that everybody should read. You know, it's a big book, but I think it's something everybody should at least try and get into. For one thing, it made me really see America in a different light. My first record deal I got when I was around 18, 19 years old. I was signed to Raw Dope Epic Records, and it was really in a group called The Pack, and it was really kind of my first experience in the music business. You know, so I was real naive, you know, but it was my kind of, you know, my crucible. You know, I learned the hard way, you know, fast. It was like this is something my education about the music business came from. It wasn't the best experience, you know what I'm saying? I went through all the ups and downs and all the negative parts that people talk about in the music business, from publishing to you know, fake promoters and all type of other craziness, you know, but I don't regret it. I go through it again, you know, to get the learning experience and the things that I know now.